All right, everybody, let's get started. Welcome to the May webinar. This is our agenda for today. I'm going to start us off by reading you guys our AI transcription disclaimer, and then we'll hear from Kylie regarding NSLP renewals and NSLP trainings, and then we'll hear from Cass regarding direct certification, and then we'll also hear from Kala regarding administrative reviews. And then we'll hear from Cass again regarding the Dairy West updates. And then Sean will be providing us some updates from USDA Foods. And then we'll have Pamela for FFP grant, the literacy from the lunchroom, spotlight on summer, school gardens, and the Farm to School Advisory Council. And then we'll also hear from Marianne regarding the Sun Meals programs. And then that is the date for our next webinar. So just a quick reminder, we will not be holding webinars in June and July. All right, and then this is our AI transcription disclaimer. The state agency allows the use of AI-generated transcription and/or summary tools to support note-taking and accessibility during virtual trainings. But please note that AI-generated content may contain errors and omissions or misinterpretations of information shared during the training. AI-generated summaries and transcripts are only intended as supplemental resources and should not be relied upon as a sole source of program guidance or instruction. Therefore, it remains the sponsor's responsibility to actively participate and review the full training presentation, ask questions and seek clarification if needed, and ensure full understanding of all program requirements, guidance, and expectations discussed during the training/presentation. And note that official program guidance remains subject to USDA regulations, policy memoranda, and instructions provided by the state agency. Thank you. So I'll pass the reins over to Kylie. Kylie?
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm going to get us started off with NSLP renewal. Next slide, please, Alex. So as you all know, NSLP annual renewal opened on April 20th of this year. So you can find any instructions. There are available in section 4 of download forms in My Idaho CNP. Just pay careful attention to your instructions this year. And then if you have any questions, contact the NSLP team. You can contact us via phone or email. And then you do have one of us, either me, Jessica, Cass, or Kala, assigned to your packet. So just pay attention to who's assigned to your packet and you can reach out to them directly. Next slide, please, Alex. And then also just a summer food promotion reminder. So even if you aren't running a summer food program, you're required to promote the program to your community and then make sure to keep those documents on file for when we come for your administrative review. The best way to do so is in the end of your school year newsletter to tell parents to find a summer site in your community with USDA's Summer Meal Site Finder mapping tool, or you can also text summer meals to the number listed on this slide or call that number to find a site near you. Next slide, please, Alex. And then I'm going to move on to our NSLP trainings we have coming up this year. Next slide. So these are our annual training dates that we have coming up this year. So in Boise, we're going to be at July 21st, and then we're going to head up to Lewiston, Idaho Falls on August 4th, and then Coeur d'Alene on August 5th, Pocatello August 4th, and then Twin Falls August 5th, and we'll be back in Boise on August 6th.
Hey Kylie, can I just make
Yeah.
an edit to this? We won't be in
Yes.
Idaho Falls in August. I just wanted to clear that up. The only Idaho Falls training is at
Oh, yes.
ISNA.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a pre-conference training at ISNA in Idaho Falls this year. So that's the one edit to this slide. Next slide. And then we're going to be doing our RCCI training in Boise on July 22nd. And then that's all I have.
Thanks, Kylie. All right, and then we'll hear from Kala regarding administrative reviews. Kala?
All right, thanks, Alex. You can go ahead to the next slide, please. Okay, the moment you've all been waiting for. Here is our list of sponsors receiving an administrative review in school year 26-27. So take a look at this list and see if your name is on it. You can also find this information in My Idaho CNP. It will alert you to when your next review will be. Um, We are still finalizing our schedule as an NSLP team. So if you guys know if you're getting a review this year and you're going to have an extended absence or a, conflict of timing, we would love to know that ahead of time, just so maybe we can make some arrangements. We don't want you to be gone for a month during review time. So let us know and keep an eye out for your official scheduling letter coming later this year. So keep an eye out and just remember we're coming to see you and we are excited to get to meet some new sponsors this year.
All right, and then we'll hear from Cass regarding Dairy West updates. Cass?
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Alex, and good morning, everyone. Next slide, please. So something that we want to make sure that you're aware of is if you're interested in creating buzz, increased participation, or making your summer meal programs unforgettable, we want to let you know that Dairy West is selecting a limited number of schools to receive hands-on support for high-energy summer meal kickoff events that will come complete with tools, resources, and ideas to turbocharge your programs. So this is a competitive opportunity, and Dairy West is looking for schools that will bring enthusiasm, creativity, and a strong commitment to making summer meals amazing for their communities. So if you're interested, just go to Dairy West's website, and there is a big red button where you can apply. Okay, next slide, please. And also, we wanted to make sure that you knew that Dairy West will have a strong presence at ISNA. So if you're interested in any of the workshops that they have to offer, please be sure to check them out while you're there. Okay, that's all for me, Alex. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Cass. All right, and we'll hear from Sean regarding USDA foods updates. Sean?
Good morning. I have just a few quick updates for May. Slide, please. We are all winding down the current school year, and hopefully you have all requested delivery of any products you have that were being stored at Gold Star Foods. Kendall and I will be scheduling a time in early June to take a physical inventory of remaining projects, and we hope to go out there and find empty shelves. For DoD, I wanted to remind those of you that have current DoD funding remaining that those funds need to be spent by June 30th. That means that orders should be placed by mid-June so that those items can be receipted by the end of the month. And for the few of you that did receive some summer food DoD funding, just a reminder that you have until September 30th to use those funds. Slide, please. Okay, for our school year 26-27 orders, they are going to start arriving in July. We should be receiving trucks of mixed fruit, diced peaches, pancakes, pork picnics, spaghetti sauce, and tomato sauce. And then we also have some truck bulk products being shipped to our processors, Schwann's, Donley Farms, Tyson, Foster Farms, and S&F Foods. Those will all be starting in July. For those of you that have not heard, Gold Star Foods has built a new warehouse in Nampa. We will no longer be sending deliveries to Americold or Northwest Foods in Emmett for storage. All trucks now will be delivered to the new warehouse, Gold Star Foods, Nampa. Next slide, please. We have been notified that there have been a couple of shortfalls so far this year. Those are for the frozen strawberries and apple slices. Those trucks were originally scheduled for delivery in July, and they have been moved to October due to what they call vendor constraints. And that is all the updates that I have. I will turn it over to Pamela.
Thanks, Sean. Next slide, please, Alex. We're going to talk about the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Grant Program. Next steps, applications for next school year have been received and are under review. The USDA releases funding totals, and we anticipate an announcement sometime in June. After that, the state agency will allocate the funding and send award letters and addendum to the schools. And then the schools will return the addendum with the signatures to us, and then the school district completes their mandatory trainings to receive the funds. For this year, those of you who still have your FFEP, the next steps, remember to submit your final claims for this year no later than June 19th. So that will be the the end of FFEP for this year. Thanks. Next slide, please. And now we'll jump into literacy from the lunchroom. Next slide. So this is a series, a really fun series on Who Made My Lunch. The authors are Bridget Hess and Mari Shu, and illustrations by Stephanie Pfizer Coleman and Jeannie Murch. And it's a series that goes through for example, a child wonders where bread comes from and learns about the jobs of a wheat farmer, a miller, and a baker in a bread factory as they describe the steps in bread making. Where does jelly come from? They learn about the jobs of a grape farmer and workers in a jelly factory. Peanut butter comes from well, they learn about how they're harvested, how peanuts are harvested, made into peanut butter, and packaged in a factory. There's also books on cheese, making milk into cheese, and cereal into corn into cereal, and potatoes into chips. So these can all be found online. And next slide, please. And then here's another book. How did that get in my lunchbox? Is The Story of Food. This one's by Chris Butterworth and Lucia, illustrated by Lucia Gaggiotti. Sorry. One of the best parts of a young child's day is opening the lunchbox and diving in. But how did that delicious food get there? From planting wheat to mixing dough, climbing trees to machine squeezing fruit. There's a clear, engaging look at the steps involved in producing some common foods. There are health tips and a peek at basic food groups to complete the menu. Next school, please. Next slide, please. Farm to School, Spotlight on Summer. Next slide, please. So this year, Pollinator Week is June 22nd to 28th, and everybody knows we won't have food if we don't have pollinators. It's Pollinator Week is a celebration of the vital role that pollinators play in our ecosystems, economies, and agriculture. And then you can look to the USDA's website for their farm to Summer page that has this fact sheet and many other resources to help bring the farm to summer meals. Next slide, please. What's in season? Look at all these yummy things. Asparagus, the flowers and plants, herbs, greens, the onions, potatoes, radishes, and rhubarb. And I'm sure if you have more ideas, let me know. Let's share those out. Next slide, please. Farm to School, school gardens. Go ahead, next slide. So the Institute for Child Nutrition, the ICN, released this 17-page resource that covers container gardens and hydroponic gardens, and it's available online. I will put this link in the chat. Next slide, please, Alex. And this is a quick video from Dietrich schools who had participated in the Farm in School grant receiving hydroponic gardens. Can you play the clip, please? Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. Look at them grow. And Dietrich schools, so they had the kids doing all of the work from the maintenance of the pods, the changing water, giving it the nutrients it needs and everything, and then they could harvest them and share them with food services at school meals. So this was just one of the schools who participated in the Farm in School program. Thanks, Dietrich. Next slide, please. Farm to School Advisory Council. So next slide, please. So the Farm to School coordinator position is ending September 30th. And after that, there won't be a dedicated person on the child nutrition team to promote farm to school activities. Although the USDA has a no-cost extension of the grant program. The Idaho legislature did not authorize spending of those funds, so this program definitely is basically ending September 30th, unless there is an advisory council to keep it going. I'll put a link to this. There's a sign-up sheet if you're interested, and I'll put that in the chat as well. And I'll put this on the Farm to School page on the Child Nutrition Program website. So if you're interested in keeping the momentum going, please let us know, because it definitely has gained some momentum and is a resource of health, nutrition, economics for communities across the state. I appreciate all the help that you have given and your support of this effort. Thanks so much. And I think that's all I have, Alex.
Thanks, Pamela. All right, and then we'll hear from Marianne. Marianne.
So thanks, Alex. And actually, before I get started with the Sun Meals program, I'll have Kala ask the question that was put in the chat box so that we can have that on the recording for this webinar.
Thanks, Marianne. Yes, we got a question in the chat about the next year's free and reduced applications and when they'll be uploaded into the download forms for your packet renewal. We're planning on having all of our forms for next school year updated by the end of the month. So keep an eye out for those, and we'll get all the school years and appropriate information changed on those forms.
Awesome. Thanks, Kala. Good morning, everyone. Big kudos to the CNP team for highlighting the summer meals program. Kylie mentioned that with the promotion for NSLP sponsors, and then Kaz with a Dairy West resources and grant opportunities. So definitely recommend you all to take a look at that and see what ways we can improve your summer meals operation this summer. So with that, I just have a few slides for reminders for our current SSO and SFSP sponsors. So my next slide, go ahead, Alex. So, all right. So really quick, I want to just highlight, and I know that Kylie already touched upon this earlier in the webinar, but on this slide, I wanted to just highlight that the Sun Meals program is officially back this summer. And just for those that are not currently an SFSP sponsor, there was a huge shift in the logo and marketing of the Summer Meals program. And so USDA has updated the names of all the Sun Meals program, all the Summer Meals program currently happening. And so altogether, it is now called the Sun Meals program. So that includes the Summer Food Service program and the Seamless Summer Option program. So just a big FYI on that. But the Sun Meals program are officially back this summer and available to help kids be fueled while school is out. Through the Sun Meals program, free nutritious meals are available to all children ages 1 to 18 at approved meal sites located throughout Idaho. These meal sites may include schools, park locations, libraries, community centers, and other local community locations. Depending on the site, meals may include breakfast, lunch, snacks, and/or supper options. We also want to highlight that select rural communities may offer non-congregate meal service options where eligible. And so one really important reminder is that open meal sites do not require an application or registration, making it really easy for families to access meals throughout the summer when school is out. So please, we encourage all CNP sponsors, regardless if you are a current Sun Meals program sponsor or if you're not, if we can ask you to share outreach materials and promote meal site availability within their communities or within your communities to ensure families are aware of these resources. Next slide, Alex. So to help spread the word, we want to share some ways that families can access the Sun Meals program. So the first one is families can contact their local district, local school districts or local program sponsors for information about the Sun Meals program in their community. Families or households can call 211 for assistance, or families can utilize the USDA Summer Meal Site Finder. And I did put that Summer Meal Site Finder link in the chat box. So if you have not already done so, please feel free to click on that and bookmark that in your computer or laptop, tablet, whatever you're on, in case you get any questions on how to access the Summer Meals program. Please feel free to share that Summer Meal Site Finder. I do want to note, though, that the Summer Food team is working diligently to approve as many packets as we can, so we can submit that information to USDA so that they can post that publicly in the Summer Meal Site Finder. We are anticipating that majority of our operators will be posted in that website by next week. But if you happen to not see your operation, that might be because your packet has not been approved, but we will get everyone submitted to that USDA mapping system by the first week of June so that everyone in our state can access that Summer Meal Site Finder. Next slide, Alex. All right, so with promotion of that Summer Meal Site program for our current SFSP sponsors, I just want to take a couple of slides to do a quick reminder regarding your packet. Please take time to carefully review each of your site application in My Idaho CNP. Sponsors, I encourage you to double check all of the dates of your operation, selected days of service, and meal service times to make sure they are accurate and fully updated for summer 2026. This includes verifying any changes from prior years, such as adjusted schedules, added meal service, or modified operating days. Accurate information is important because it directly impacts program oversight, obviously claims, monitoring requirements, and then, as mentioned from the previous slide, public meal site information that is posted in the Summer Meal Site Finder. Incorrect meal times or operating dates can create issues during reviews or, again, when families attempt to access your meal service operation. So if changes are needed, please revise it in your site application and resubmit that as soon as possible so that the assigned SFSP coordinator can review and approve right away. Next slide, Alex. Again, sponsors must ensure that their summer food application packet is fully approved. One way to check that is if when you log into your My Idaho CNP account and you click on the summer food tile, and then in your application packet for the most current program year, you can see at the top right corner the packet status. And if that says approved, then your entirety of the renewal packet is in an approved status. So always just a great way to validate that before your first day of operation. Again, operating prior to packet approval may result in meals being disallowed. So it's very important to confirm your approval status before your first day of operation. So with that, if you guys have any questions, if you're a current summer food sponsor, or if you're just curious about the promotion and outreach, please reach out to the summer food team and we'll be more than happy to help you out. And I think that's all I have. So I'll turn it back to Alex.
Thanks so much, Marianne. All right, and that is the date for our next webinar. Again, we won't be holding any in June and July, so we'll see you all in August. This is our non-discrimination statement and our contact list, and that's the end of our presentation. We'd like to open the floor to any questions. Check the chat here. Looks like we answered that one for the free and reduced applications. So, all right, going once, going twice. All righty, folks, have a wonderful summer. We'll see you all August.
Happy summer.